G
R
O
U
P.
We are the Group 3.
Hi, I'm Kim Ponce, and I'm here to discuss to you the simple aspect. The simple aspect is used to describe actions or events which are seen to be completed. These can be events which are permanent, complete, habitual, or mere facts. Example, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. This statement expresses a permanent or a fact. Next, we went to the cinema yesterday. This expresses a complete action. And the last one, John wakes up at 6 a.m. every day and expresses a habitual action. There are three types of simple aspects: the simple present tense, the simple past tense, and the simple future tense.
Hi, I'm Applejoy Velasco.
And I'm Alwara P. Ahmad. And we're going to discuss the simple present tense.
Simple present tense expresses general timeless truths such as physical laws or customs, habitual action in the present, relationship, in the conversational historical present, and with be and other stative verbs to indicate states.
How to use simple present tense? First, we use the simple present tense when something is generally true. Like for example, the sun rises in the east.
Present continuous for a temporary situation, one which we think won't last long. We also need to use this tense for a situation that we think is more or less permanent. For example, she works in a bank.
The next use is for habits or things that we do regularly. Like for example, I play tennis every Tuesday.
Future timetables. Strangely, we can use this tense to talk about the future. When you are discussing a timetable or a fixed plan, you can use this tense. Usually, the timetable is fixed by an organization, not by us. Example, our train leaves at 11.
We also use it to talk about the future of the words like when, until, after, before, and as soon as in the future sentence. Like for example, I won't go out until it stops raining.
Simple present tense is in the form of subject plus auxiliary verb plus the main verb. These are the rules in constructing a simple present tense. For positive sentences, we do not normally use the auxiliary. For the third person singular, he, she, and it, we add s to the main verb or es to the auxiliary. We use an auxiliary even for questions and negatives.
Christine Lugo.
Giovanni Cartagena.
4.
Simple past tense.
Simple past tense is a verb tense indicating actions, events, habitual activities, and states that occurred in the past and which does not extend into the present.
In other words, it started in the past and indeed in the past.
Past tense of regular verbs are formed by adding d, ed, or t at the end of every verb. Past tense of irregular verbs have a variety of endings.
Simple past tense includes any action or state of being that we could find between the dawn of time and the split of the second before the present. Example number 1. He took off his shoes, rolled down the window, turned the radio way up, and made us all sing the Michigan State Fight song.
Number 2. I dreamed 1,000 new paths. I woke and walked my old one. Simple past tense can also be used with a habitual sense to refer to a series of past events that occurred on a regular basis. Often, when used in this way, the verb is accompanied by an adverbial that underscores the regularity of the situation described.
Example number 1. My mother always went to the market on Mondays. Example number 2. Whenever I played football, I would injure myself.
As you can see, the words highlighted with red color is an example of an adverbial.
Simple past tense with time expressions. The simple past tense is often seen with a time expression explaining when the activity took place or how long it lasted.
Examples of quote-unquote when an activity took place. Number 1. On Tuesday last week, the Martians landed near the aqueduct. Number 2. I ran 5 kilometers yesterday. Examples of quote-unquote how long the activity took. Number 1. Her daughter hid under the bed for 3 hours.
Number 2. Several days later, his parents finally arrived.
Jazame's Nini.
And Rensden Estrada. 4. Simple future tense. Simple future tense
Is used for an action or event that will take place at some definite future time, a habitual action or future state or a situation.
that may be true in the present and may be true in the future, but with some future termination in sight.
Simple future has two different forms.
Will and be going to.
Although the two forms can be sometimes used interchangeably, they often express two very different meanings.
Will is in the form of will plus verb. Examples: you will water the plants later. She will make her project tomorrow.
Be going to is in the form of am, is, are, plus be going to plus verb. Examples: you are going to meet Daniel tonight. I am going to sleep after this report. Will and be going to have different uses.
Uses 1. Will to express a voluntary action.
Will often suggests to the speaker will do something voluntarily. We used will to respond to someone else's complaint or request for help. Similarly, we use will not or won't when we refuse to voluntarily do something.
Examples: I will prepare the meal when I get home. Will you help me prepare the meal? I won't cook the food for you.
Uses 2. Will to express a promise.
Will usually used in promise.
Examples: I promise I will not tell him about the surprise party. I won't tell anyone your secret.
Uses 3. Be going to express a plan.
Be going to express the idea that a person intends to do something in the future. It does not matter whether the plan is realistic or not.
Examples: he is going to spend his Christmas vacation in Tangub City. Jeza is going to make Jasmine's birthday cake.
Uses 4. Will or be going to express a prediction.
Both can express the idea of general prediction about the future. In prediction sentences, the subject usually has a little control over the future, and therefore, uses 1 to 3 do not apply.
Examples: the advancement of technology will improve more in the year 2020. The advancement of technology is going to improve more in the year 2020.
No! It is not always clear which use the speaker has in mind. Often, there is more than one way to interpret a sentence's meaning.
Remember,
There is no future in time clauses.
like all future forms, the simple future cannot be used in clauses beginning with time expressions such as when, while, before, after, by the time, as soon as, if, unless, and etc. Instead of simple future, simple present is used.
Examples: when you will arrive, we will go out for dinner.
It is wrong.
When you arrive tonight, we will go out for dinner.
It is correct.
For questions
Clarifications?
And more information,
Please ask the members of
the Group 3.
Thank you!